Hey, Dan Bazzarelli here. I was reviewing some of the trade from some of our trade triggers, the CBOE ones. In particular, I came across one in Wing Spread Genius, which I found to be pretty interesting. So take a look at what I have here. So these are the Wing Spread Genius trades for today, and I'm just scrolling down. These happened right towards the end of the day at 15:49, so that's 3:49 and 12 seconds Eastern time. So the last less than 11 minutes of the day. There was 5,000 traded, another 5,000 traded, and in a minute I'm going to walk you through the volume and open interest, and you'll see that it was actually probably even a whole lot more than that. So, big trade. Now, I glanced at this at first, and I see that it's a wing spread, a butterfly. And I just kind of glanced at it at first. And I said, oh, $17.50. And then I said, oh, well, the distance between the strikes here, wait, that is 17, that's $12.50. What's going on here? Oh, it's a broken wing butterfly, I came to realize. And then thinking, well, these strikes are above the current stock price. Oh, it's a put butterfly. I figured it was a call butterfly. Oh, it's a put butterfly. And I found that to be kind of interesting. And I took a minute to wrap my head around that. So, with the stock down here at 170, we know that intuitively, we always want the stock to be at that middle strike price, in this case, 200. So looking for a pretty good rise over just 2 days. These options expire in 2 days, less than 48 hours. Now that would be a pretty big move towards that strike price. What would indicate that that would be a possibility? Well, I mean, I look here at the RSI and we're not quite really into oversold territory. What else could it be? Well, next thing I did is I came and, oh, and by the way, even before I show you that, this is what this looks like. So the bigger the move, the better, but it's really got to get pretty close to 200 in order to make money, and it risks quite a bit. I mean, it's a maximum loss of like $1,750 or so, where there's a maximum profit of a little over $2,000, 2,200. So I found that to be pretty interesting too, and the chart and any of the indicators don't seem to support that. So I looked over at the volume and open interest data because, look, that's what these things are all about. The Genius scanners, it's about unusual activity. And I found that at the 200 strike, we've got a massive amount of open interest. 62,000 open in the call side, 17,000 open on the put side, much bigger than any other strike for the puts and for the calls combined. It just really dwarfs. I mean, that's about 80,000 open interest at that line. So, what gives? Well, the only thing I could ascertain is maybe, just maybe, just maybe, this person is looking for a bounce towards the upside, thinking that the stock could be attracted to that price because of all the open interest there, which is something that is known as pinning, or when people are short those options at the strike, they might refer to it as pin risk, the risk of being pinned, where the stock goes to a very high open interest strike. Now, to me, that could be still a little bit of a stretch, especially with only 2 days to go. I think it would still require somewhat of a catalyst, a fundamental catalyst, something in the news to drive that, but not impossible. It also makes me wonder why the person didn't do this as calls, maybe, I don't know. It is pretty interesting. I mean, one thing that I thought of is that it could be somebody closing the position, but no, that's definitely not it, because the volume is higher than the open interest in each of those strikes. So that was definitely an opening position. And I figured I'd share it with you and let you do your own looking at it, especially those of you who are already part of Wingspread Genius, which I think many of you are. That being said, I hope that helps. This is Dan Passarelli, Tradesman.